Hi guys, it's T here. I was just playing around with beads and sitting here going through sorting some stuff, putting some stuff away, and I just got an idea and I'm gonna try it out. I want to bring you guys along with me. So what I will be using for this bracelet, it's going to be an all rose quartz deal. And I'm going to be using these 12 millimeter rose quartz crystal beads along with these fantastic rose quartz chips. I do source all of my beads from various sellers on TikTok mostly. But yeah, so I've already laid everything out on the board. And I'm going to be doing a pattern where there's one of the bigger rose quartz, the 12 millimeters, paired with two chips on either side. And I'll talk you guys through how I'm going to construct the bracelet. So what I have laid out right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 9 larger stones. And then I've got 2 in between each, and I'm just using this beading board to kind of get the pattern. I did pull out a couple of the extra big ones just in case the bracelet's not big enough, because as we know, these chips can sometimes take up more space than it looks like, or take up less space. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing. And I have a preference towards the crystal tech, and I like to use the zero point 0.6 on it. So that's what I will be using for the line. And then when I construct, I also utilize the needle method. So it's going to be a double wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the top on this new one, aka pull off a length of string. I usually get at least 10 inches to make sure I have enough, and I've done it a while. I usually end up cutting off a little more than I actually need, but that's about what we're going for. I would highly recommend that if you have a beading board or you're just starting out. I know I have one that's like a double section that I've labeled, but after a while you kind of get the idea of what how much you need to make the bracelets in the correct size. So I just use a binder clip to put in the loose ends, because again it's going to be I guess double strung, for lack of better words. I don't know all the technical terms. I just do what I've seen done. And then here is the looped end, and I use a beading needle, which is just basically a piece of harder wire that's open at one end to string the beads when I get started. And yeah, that's about it. What you do want to make sure is, because I don't use beading glue, I usually just tie it really strong a couple of times and then hide the knot inside. So when I start, I tend to start with one of the bigger beads, so that I can hide the knot inside of that. So we're gonna go here and start stringing along. All right, guys. So I am just starting out with the big bead, the 12 millimeter. As I said, I like to start with the larger bead to make it easier to hide the knot. And I'm just using a pattern of the 12 millimeter bead and 2 chips in between. The holes on the chip beads are a little bit smaller, so that's why I've kind of hesitated using them as much in the traditional string bracelets. I typically will use them when I'm doing like a wire stack using memory wire. And I'll post a tutorial on that soon. But this only took about maybe 5 to 7 minutes to get everything there, because I had it laid out. And once I finish getting all those beads on, I will come back and let you guys know how to finish it. All right, so now that we have this last piece on, what I'm going to do is start shifting these upward. And I'm going to go ahead and take my needle off that end and start shifting these up so that I can get the knot tied and to check the size. So I'm simply just moving them along here on the string. I really hope this turns out gorgeous. You know, it's a simple design, but sometimes simple is what's needed. All right, almost to the end there. And these, the chip pieces sometimes are a little tight when you're getting them on the string. So moving them also, you know, but that just means they're secure and won't go anyway. All right, so now that we have this pulled a little tighter and I have my finger wrapped around this loose end, we're going to do a little bit more tightening. But before we do that, you want to, the two double ends, we took the binder clip off, and essentially you're going to use the end that's looped as like an anchor, so to speak, between the two, and we're essentially going to, I like to say, tie our shoes to get the knot completed. So you see there's some slack there where my finger was. So I'm just, again, going to shift these up so that it is more secure against that knot, or where we're going to anchor the knot to. And I'm just going to shift, shift, shift. And as you shift, you'll want to continue to slide down the top portion also. That way you maintain good contact and it's on there securely. So now we've got that on there. I think it's gorgeous so far. What do you guys think? The contrast between the big, beautiful round beads, the 12 millimeters, and the chips just kind of adds a little zhuzh. All right, so now I'm going to take, the method that I use again is just a simple tie. I'm going to do a couple knots in it. So for the first knot, I'm going to take my right string and just lay it over the left, hold it in between these two fingers here, or whichever ones are comfortable for you. And then with my left string, I'm going to pull it down over the right and then through the hole that's there. Right? So we've got just a really simple single knot. I'm going to pull it and then very gently tug to make sure it's secure there, right? So then we're just going to do the same thing over again, except this time I'm going to wrap it twice. So I'm going to do right over left, left down and through the middle. And then we're going to do that one more time, down and through the middle. And then we're just going to very gently slide that down and give it a nice gentle tug to make sure it's there. And then my final knot, I'm going to go back to a single. And again, this is, you know, a matter of preference. If you want to do the surgeon's knot from the beginning, you absolutely can. It's just a matter of preference and what you think is going to hold. You know, these have held well for me doing it this way. So now you see we have quite a bit of string left over there. We don't want to leave that hanging out just because it, you know, it's unfinished, it's undone. So I get as close as I possibly can to that knot without cutting on top of it. And I just give a little snip there. And then we are going to give it a little space and gently start pulling on this side, and you'll start seeing the knot disappear into the bead. And because this one's bigger, you know, it doesn't take as long. But there you have it. And the knot is hidden. You don't really know where start finish is, any of that good stuff. And now I usually give it a good little test to put it on, and I have what I assume to be like a larger wrist, and this still fits fine. I don't see any gaps where the string is stretching too much or anything like that. So yeah. And then to take it off, you just simply slide it on off. And that is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. As always, if you have any questions or feedback or want to see more or want a suggestion for the next video, please feel free to leave it down in the comments. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. Have a good one.